Okay, it's Sunday, which means against my better judgment it's time to go to Reddit and see what we can find in this hive of scum and villainy. So I've been to the Overwatch University subreddit ahead of time and just scraped a couple of questions off the pages. And off the front pages I'm going to answer them now. Some footage of Grand Blue Fantasy Versus plays in the background, because there's a better game than Overwatch. So, first up, also, I promise we're gonna upload more than one video next week. It's gonna be the time where we get everything back on schedule, I promise. And if I miss a day, go to whatever the last video I uploaded was next week and just bully me about it. Because we gotta get this back on track. So first up, from the YouTube comments from last week for the first time. Context. However, I've learned that I really enjoy the flight mobility and kit for Echo, but I stay away from her because her ultimate makes me play some heroes that I haven't really mastered yet, like Doomfist and Mei. Should I be trying to spend more time on getting my skills up with Echo, or stick to my Reaper McCree training? So don't let, Echo's ultimate put you off from playing Echo, because you don't really play the heroes like you normally would, because you play them with reckless abandon, because all you're really trying to do is get as many ults off in that time as you can, and it doesn't matter if you die during that time. And, Doomfist is, not a great Echo copy most of the time, unless you're, really good with, fucking Doomfist, I guess. Because usually the better people to pick are, ones that can just really consistently build up their ultimate. So, Roadhog and Reinhardt are two, very common candidates. Zarya is another good one. Just because they build their ults really fast, and you can play them really recklessly, and it's fine. You just get in there, go ham, Earth Shatter as many times as you can. You don't play the heroes like you normally would. Sometimes I do copy Reaper, but usually the ones you're copying are the ones that are easy to build ult with fast, because that's kind of the point of Echo, or at least her ultimate anyway. So don't let her ultimate put you off reeling, and play whoever the fuck that you want to play, basically. If you're never gonna get good at someone if you don't play him. If it turns out if you really like Echo, dog, play Echo. She's really fun. I really enjoy her. Please look at this extremely cursed victory. Vasaraga is a very cursed character, in general. Dude, Echo's really fun. Play Echo. Don't let her ultimate put you off. If you really want to play or get good at Reaper and McCree, you do you, brother. But, don't let Echo's ultimate put you off. She's really cool. She's very fun. Play Echo. She's good. She's a good time, and don't let her ultimate put you off. So, that's all I got for you, that one, really. Basically, play whoever the fuck you want. Good times. So, now, over in Discord. So now you're out, are you going to change the QA title? Nay, my controller disconnected. I'm sorry. You're going to have to look at all the fucking UI for a second while I reconnect it. Come on, brother. Come on. There we go. No, I'm not going to change it. This is just a phrase in the UK, at least. If you say poor man's something or other, that's generally accepted, it's just gender neutral. It's just kind of it's going to be pretty shitty, but it gets the job done, so no, I'm not going to change the title. Next, would you rather see Brig change to focus more on conventional healing instead of armor, or more on armor instead of conventional healing? I would much rather see Brigitte focus, Brigitte, whatever the fuck, focus more on armor, because that's her unique selling point, I don't think the nerf to health pack really matters that much, to be honest, but it makes her more boring. It just takes away some more of her identity, the shield patch was the shield change was the real nerf in that one. But yeah, I would much rather she focused on armor. That's her unique thing, because, and I don't even really care if she's good as a result of it or not. It's just I want the heroes to be distinct from each other, and the more they change Bridget to just do regular healing, the more she just turns into a melee Lucio. And that's not interesting to me. I don't want that. So I would much rather she focused on armor instead of healing. I think that's, We should probably just, like, retry Bridget at this point. It doesn't look like they're ever gonna fucking stop nerfing her, does it? Like, since she's been out, they're still nerfing her. They're still nerfing her to this day. It's never gonna end. We may as well just fucking start again. So next up is thought on the Brig changes, and the patch, generally speaking, I guess. Actually, I'm gonna have to get the patch notes up, because I didn't do that. I was just ready to complain about Bridget some more, you know, but I didn't get the rest of it up. I'm gonna put this down really gently so it doesn't make a terrible noise. Overwatch. Patch. I know, what a professional operation we run around here, right? I don't think much changed other than Bridget, though, to be honest with you, but, you know, we'll do the thing. Let's see. Also, let me just start this next game up. I just wanted to show you that really cursed Vasaraga game. It wasn't really in the order that I was going to play them in. It was... nope. Here. Yes, this is where we start. So let's see. Ash cooldown on Dynamite increased from 10 to 12. Fair. Dynamite's a very strong ability. Was save Bridget for last, seeing as she was the main part. Diva, movement penalty reduced. Defense matrix reduced. Activation delay on micro missiles reduced. All good stuff. I don't know why Diva has to move so fucking slow when she's firing her guns, to be honest with you. Junkrat, trigger delay reduced from 0.1 some change to just 0.1. Time to take control of Junkrat post detonation from Riptide reduced from 1.5 to 0.9. Actually a huge amount of time. Junkrat will die a lot less now as a result of using his ultimate. And then, you know, the Bridget change. No armor on armor pack. On repair pack, rather. No armor. You know. And then barrier shield maximum health increased from 200 to 250. Regeneration rate decreased from 100 to 85 per second. And then cooldown when destroyed increased from 3 to 5 seconds. Terrible, awful, dreadful, very sad, cry every time. Yeah, so like the shield change is the real nerf that Bridget was subjected to. The... sorry, I'm just getting... there's another question in here that's, are you attending funerals for a certain Swedish engineer / squire at any point in the future? You know, this kind of goes with that. Yeah, I don't want to play Bridget anymore, you know. I don't think Bridget is, like, unplayable or anything as a result of the change, strictly, but I don't want to play her anymore. You know, it's officially taken for me at this point, where I'm just like, I will now... basically never pick Bridget, except... sorry, I banged the table. Except in maybe some really edge case counter pick scenarios. I'm never going to pick Bridget again now. I just don't want to anymore. It's officially taken for me at this point. The shield is the real nerf. Like, 50 health is not worth this massive increase in downtime. Like, the shield already breaks so quickly. 50 health is like one extra bullet for most characters, and like the uptime nerf overall is so absolutely tragic. So no, like, I don't want to play her anymore. It's like it's done for me at this point. I don't want to play Bridget. She's been nerfed too many times, and like pretty much everything that I have enjoyed about her has just been like slowly taken away. She's just slowly turning into melee Lucio with like one ranged heal, and I'm not about it. I don't like it. Awful. Rest of the patch is fine, you know, all changes that are pretty much deserved, I would say. You know, I don't know why Diva moved that slow. Riptire, you know, Junkrat dies so much. Let's make him die a little bit less. And Dynamite's really fucking strong, so that's also fair. Dynamite's like low-key one of the best abilities in the game. Just because of the sheer amount of ult charge you get out of it, if not for like the damage itself, which is also, of course, quite good. Which is why it generates ult charge so fast. But yeah, bridge changes, terrible. I won't be playing her anymore. Very sad. I miss it. Goodbye. So, Next up, last one from the Discord is, do you think all the dive tanks should have the same 6-second cooldown for their primary movement mobility cooldowns? Jump pack, boosters, grappling hook. No, I don't. I think that we should avoid sweeping things like that. I don't like generalizations like this, where we say, alright, we're making a dive tank, they have to have a 6-second cooldown mobility. You know, I don't like, oh, we're making a main tank, so they have to have some kind of big boy shield, you know. I don't like sweeping things like that. Now, if it's a dive tank, they should have a reasonably low cooldown movement ability, of course. But I don't think we should blanketly say, 6 seconds, because that limits you. Suppose you want a character that is, like, really just, like, in and out constantly, all the time. You don't want him to have a 6-second cooldown, necessarily. You'd want him to have, like, a lower cooldown if you want someone in and out often. Now, and you might say, well, alright, so this guy's a dive tank, but he's gonna have a big boy cooldown on his movement ability, but his movement ability is gonna be fucking off the chain, you know? It ain't gonna be no kind of, like, little piddly jump pad. We're gonna make this boy like a fucking 15-second cooldown, and when he lands, oh my god, they are gonna fucking know he landed, you know? I don't think we should make sweeping statements like that, because then, as soon as you start making generalizations like that, every hero that gets added in the future into that role is gonna start feeling pretty fucking the same, you know? So no, I don't think that they should all have the same cooldown. I think they should be taken on a hero-by-hero basis, depending on, like, what the designers are going for with this particular hero. Yeah, no. No sweeping things like that in general, please. I want the hero pool to be as diverse as possible. I don't really care how many heroes are in it. I just want the heroes that are in it to all feel really unique and distinct from each other, and once you go, they all have to have, that stops happening. I don't like it. So there you go. Man, we moved through all those questions really fucking fast. How long have we been here? 15 minutes? Wow, we're gonna have to get a lot out of these next three questions. To push that one up to 30 minutes. Almost at 3 hours. We would really have to work these questions over to get up to 3 hours. So next up from Reddit is, what maps are good for dive compositions? To be honest with you, most maps are pretty good for dive comps, but particular standouts are maps that have a lot of high ground you need to contest, or have, like, hard choke points that you're trying to bypass. So some classic examples of really good dive comp maps are Anubis Point A, Eichenwald Point A, not Eichenwald Point A, Volskaya Point A, though Eichenwald Point A is also fine. Eichenwald Point B, Dorado Point B and A, Hollywood Point B, you know, hard choke points, or hard, high ground that you need to contest. Because, you know, that was the thing the dive comps got going for them. They're really mobile. So you want maps with that mobility you can leverage for a very high result, or a high return. So maps with hard choke points and high grounds are going to be the one, because you either need to get up to the high ground frequently, or, shit dude, that choke point's hard. I don't want to deal with that shit right there. That shit's annoying as fuck, dude. I'm just going to go straight past it. So those are, like, the really good maps for high ground, but you can play them on, realistically, most any map in the game, to be honest with you. And we did for a little while. What maps would you really not want to play a dive comp on? Lijiang Control Center Tower, whichever it is not very good for dive comps. The space is very confined. There isn't a lot of value you can get out of the dive comp, because there aren't really choke points you're trying to slip past, and there isn't high ground to contest. You tend to just kind of brawl it out on the point. Now, a dive comp can feasibly brawl it out, but there's better comps you can run for brawling it out. So that one's not great. What's another map that's bad for a dive comp? See, I struggle to think of one offhand, which should tell you enough about the kind of place dive comps are at. Yeah, I can't really think of any others that I would, like, definitely never want to pick a dive comp on offhand. I'm sure, like, an hour from now I'm gonna be in bed and think to myself, ah, fuck! That's a terrible dive comp map. But I can't think of any others offhand except Control Center. Village isn't great on Nepal either. Again, you're more often brawling it out on the point than anything else, but there are both choke points and high ground on that map to contest, so, you know, you're gonna get value still, but it's not great. It's not a great map for it, but, like, it's also not really a bad map for it at the same time. Yeah, those are the only ones I can really think of offhand. Yeah, no, those are the only ones I can think of offhand that are like, I wouldn't want to play a dive camp on. So, yeah, most maps is the answer. Next up is open queue easier to rank up in? Yes, it is, because the player base is smaller and people don't take that game mode very seriously. It's basically like a good old-fashioned game of quick play, with the competitive rule set. But not even the competitive rule set, because it's open queue, because you're not locked into the team comp. So not even with the competitive rule set. Yeah, like, it's basically just quick play. People don't take that game mode seriously. This is the thing, like, you know, this is the thing with any kind of competitive game with multiple modes in it, is it is really hard to get people to play multiple modes to any kind of reasonable degree. This is something League of Legends found out. League of Legends used to have 3 different game modes. It used to have Summoner's Rift, which is the main 5v5, like, MOBA game. Then it also had Twisted Treeline, which was 3v3, 2-lane match. It was, like, really fucked up. And that got, like, some traffic, but, like, nowhere near as much. That's gone now. And then they had the other one, which was called Crystal Scar. Yes, I had to really think about that one. And that was nothing like a MOBA. That had more in common with, like, a fucking point control game mode from, like, fucking TF2 or some shit. And all of those modes except Summoner's Rift are gone now, because you can't get people to play multiple game modes reliably. The exception to this is they have another map for Howling Abyss, but it was like a popular community game type that they ended up putting into the actual game itself. And it's just like the casual game mode, basically, that you play when you're just kind of fucking around. And that's its express purpose. There's nothing serious about it, though some people, of course, do take it seriously. You can't get people to play multiple, like, serious game types reasonably. They just won't do it. They're gonna play one game type seriously, and the rest they're gonna be like, well, why would I play this seriously, right? Like, this is why there were all these ideas floating around for a really long time about putting some kind of, like, practice competitive mode in, so that you could play, like, the competitive rule set, but not seriously, so that you could practice. And I've said the entire time, this will never work, because you need to motivate people to take that game mode seriously, but you also want it to be the practice. How are you going to get people to take that game mode seriously when there can't be a reward for it because it's the practice game mode? So as soon as you put a reward in, it no longer becomes the practice game mode anymore. You know, you can't get people to do this. The gaming communities just don't do it. You basically get, like, the serious game modes, and then you get the casual game modes, and that's it. You know, we have competitive and quick play, and then we have the arcade, and that's it. You're not gonna get, like, competitive light. It's not gonna work out, because how do you motivate people? this is going off on a bit of a tangent at this point. Yeah, competitive open queue is easier to climb in because people don't take that game mode seriously. So if you take it seriously, you'll probably climb. In the thread that I took this one through from, multiple people were like, yeah, I know people and am or someone that has been boosted from playing open queue compared. Like, someone was like, my friend is like gold, and in open queue they got to diamond or some shit like that. Someone was like, I was in platinum, I got to masters in open queue. Like, it's way easier to climb in open queue because people aren't taking it seriously. You know, such is life. So, next up, and this is the last question for this week, how we doing? How we doing on that time front over there? You know, that's gonna be close enough, brother. Is Overwatch still worth playing as an Ana main? I flatly didn't understand. I was like, what's wrong with Ana? Yes, it's worth playing as an Ana main. You'll do just fine playing Ana. Ana remains a very good support because Bio Grenade is really strong, and then Ana has other stuff on top of that. Ana's always going to be good as long as she has Bio Grenade, basically. And here's the thing, right? Here's something that people don't think about, right? It is possible that you can receive a buff without getting buffed, right? Because what just happened to Genji? Genji just got, like, directly several buffs that were quite sick for him. And what happens when Genji gets better? Ana gets better, because Genji is a classic, like, amazing synergy for Ana, right? And if Genji gets better, Ana gets better by extension. It's one of these things. Like, if, like, Zarya gets buffed, Reinhardt gets better by extension. You know, it's possible to receive no buffs and still get buffed, actually. So yeah, like, you can definitely still play Ana. Ana's fine. And, like, there are very few heroes in this game where I would say you should stop playing that dude. And basically the only one I would say really is Bastion. I would strongly urge you to reconsider playing Doomfist, but I still think you can play Doomfist. Bastion. Don't main Bastion. Actually, don't main Winston either. Winston's so niche. He's overshadowed by, like, Hammond at this point, pretty much, as far as dive tanks go. The problem with Winston is that his ultimate is very bad. Like, low-key, his ultimate is one of the worst in the game. Like, it has fine enough utility, but you know what the real problem with Winston's ultimate is? He is gonna feed so much fucking ult charge, dude. He is gonna feed so fucking much ult charge when he uses that button. Because he gets so big and he got so much health, he's about to start sponging up some damage. And the problem is, that damage is getting converted into ult charge. Winston does a real big feed when he ults. Like, if I'm playing a DPS and I see Winston ult, I'm like, dude! We're about to watch this boy. If God forbid I'm playing Echo, I'm about to ult like 8 fucking times, dude. It's gonna be sick. Low-key, Winston, real bad ult, just because of how much ult charge he feeds when he uses it. You know, Winston's fine, like, outside of that, but, like, oof, that's a beefy downside for an ultimate, dude. Like, shit, dude, we already think that, like, Roadhog is bad because of how much ult charge he feeds. Dude, have you seen how much ult charge a Winston can feed? Ugh. I don't know what you do about that necessarily. Maybe just make it so that, like, 500 health or something is barrier so that he doesn't quite feed as much. You know, like adaptive shield. Like, Hammond doesn't feed as much as Winston does just because adaptive barrier doesn't convert into ult charge. Bob is fine because Bob doesn't convert into ult charge, right? Just make it like Bob, maybe. Just make 500 health or something not convert into ult charge, just like Bob. Though Bob is all of his health. Because, damn, that's a lot. Maybe not, like, fully 500, because then, like, maybe it starts having too little of a downside at that point. Like 250 or something. He needs to feed less, is the moral of the story. Yeah. Winston's bad. Winston's a bad boy. Hammond's just a really good dive tank, it turns out. As long as you know how to play Hammond and your team knows how to play with Hammond. Spoiler warning, you play with Hammond the exact same way you would play with Winston. But people don't really seem to understand that fact. They just watch Hammond initiate a fight and then they go, "Why is Hammond feeding?" As they stand in the choke point watching all 6 people turn on the Hammond and they don't move from their spot. I just don't understand how Hammond could do this, you know? It's fully like that meme. Bang. How could Hammond feed like this? So, since we're almost done, we're going to come up here where we can see me playing against Rowlet, who is one of the moderators in our Discord forum. Or our Discord forum? Our Discord. Seeing as we're almost done. So back on topic, Overwatch is definitely still worth playing as an main, and is worth playing as most mains, outside of, like, Bastion, and I would urge you to reconsider Doomfist and Winston. But outside of that, like, you can do whatever, dude. You can do whatever, pretty much. You do whatever you do. It's a fucking video game. Have fun playing the video game, that's the point. Oh, God. Oh, excuse me. And that's kind of all I have to say about it. Now, we will finish this set of 3, seeing as, this is what we do with Granblue, okay? We finish halfway through a set, we will finish the set, god damn it. And, we can pad for some time. That's cool. We like padding for time around here. This is a very unusual week for me. I feel like I made several quite concise points for several questions, where I was just kind of like, alright, and now I'm done talking about that. And I didn't repeat myself for like 20 minutes, which is what I usually do. Good job, me. So now we're gonna fill space by probably just talking about Granblue. So, I don't know who I like in this game. You've seen me switch between several characters already in this. I don't know. None of them quite speak to me in the exact same way characters do in Fighters. Because in Fighters, it's like, alright, I know who I like. I like Gogeta, and I like Android 21. And then, I feel obligated to pick, like, a better character for the last one, which I cycle through, and I'm currently on Ultra Instinct Goku. None of them in Granblue quite like do it for me in the exact same way. Probably just because compared to Fighters, all the characters are kind of basic. You've seen Fighters compared to Granblue, haven't you? You've seen it. I've shown you. This game is a lot simpler. So that's probably why. They have to get carried more by aesthetics alone in this game, because the movesets are all kind of similar as it goes. Obviously not all exactly the same, but there's more overlap here. The character that does speak to me the most aesthetically is Sora's. The problem is Sora's is quite bad. So what usually happens is I start playing Sora's, and then I play against, like, the Potato, or, Catalina, and I'm like, this is so fucking hard as Sora's. And I change to Percy or Fairy, mostly just out of protest, more than anything else. Like, I'm now mad, because this Potato's walking on me, and there's not that much I can do about it as Sora's. But with Percy or Fairy, there's a lot more I can do about it. And if I play against, like, a Beelzebub, I'm usually like, alright, we're going over the Fairy, and I'm gonna slap that bitch. I also like Matera more aesthetically, which won't come as much of a surprise to many people, to be honest. The problem is that Matera and Fairy are both zoners, and Fairy's just the better zoner. So every time I'm playing Matera, I am reminded of the fact that this would be going better if I was playing Fairy. And Fairy's fine, you know, I like Fairy well enough, but, here he comes. She doesn't speak to me as much as, some of the other characters do. So, yeah, that's my complaint with Grand Blue. I'm just not as into the characters, pretty much. He is now going to lick this plastic wrapper. Which, you know, he does. He's got no interest on the food that could be contained within. He's just gonna lick the plastic wrapper. You know. That's a cat thing. Yeah, so that's why I switch characters a lot more in this game. Whereas if you've seen me play fighters, yeah, you know, yeah, I play Android 21 and I play Gogeta because, hey, I really like those characters. They feel good. I like them aesthetically. Android 21 is obscenely good looking. It's not fair. And then Gogeta, like, look, Gogeta's fun to play, and Gogeta's just an asshole. You also have seen me. I'm kind of an asshole. So characters that are also assholes, they speak to me a lot. I did play Vegito, but then Gogeta came out. Vegito and Gogeta are the same person, fundamentally, but Gogeta is more enjoyable to play than Vegito is. And here's the last one, and then we're going to wrap up. I know there was another one after that. We went to 5 games, but look, we'll do 3 here. I lost the best of 3. Spoiler warning, you saw it. You know, it's okay. Yeah. So, you know, the characters that speak to me aesthetically, I'm just kind of like, I could be playing better characters right now. So then when I lose, right, that's something that I get angry about when I lose then, right? Because I'm like, ah, shit. If I was playing if I'm playing Matera, I'm like, ah, shit. If I was playing Fairy, he couldn't have done that to me. I could have done X, Y, Z. If I'm playing Sorez, I'm like, oh, man, I could have, you know, if I was playing Percy, I could have done X, Y, Z. You know, so basically, I play the character I like, I lose, like, twice, and then I'm like, okay, I'll go play the better version of this character now until I'm less mad, and then I will play the character I like again, pretty much, and then I will get mad, and then we will repeat this cycle infinitely until the heat death of the universe. And that's how it will be. That's how it will be. So here we go. Got swept. Very tragic, you know. I also don't know how to really play Fairy. If you play the game and you know how to play Fairy, you're like, dude, this guy's like awful at Fairy. What the fuck is she doing? Yeah, you know, it'd be like that. I basically just have not invested the time necessary to like learn the setups for Fairy. So I just do a really shitty version of it that doesn't really work. And then I hope that I can stand full screen and whip them until they die. I know more setups for Sorez and Matera, but we've talked about that. Did I die? Not yet. Hey, got him! Aha! Fucking got him. Come on. Oh, yeah, slapped. Alright, do I lose this round? Maybe we pull it back? Alright, come on. No, patience. Yes, No, shouldn't have done that. Oh, no, it all worked out. Fantastic. Amazing. Blocked the DP. Could have just left her at full screen and continued whipping. Alright, round 3. Now, let's see if we can guess which way Percy will walk at us. Oop. Big trades. High octane gameplay. Tech the grab, you know, all good. Pull him in, do the setup badly, get slapped. That's what we're talking about. That's what I'm about. DP, don't like it, get that bitch off me. Alright, slowly slide in. Don't know why I'm trying to get towards Percy. Percy's scary. Alright, now we're in the corner. Let me out of the corner. I don't like being in the corner. Alright, I guess I'm gonna stay in the corner. That's okay, you know. Alright, my feetsies. She won't leave my feetsies alone. Please leave my feetsies alone. Grabbed. Don't like that. Probably tried to DP and tried to DP, fucked up the input, tried to throw GG. I could see GG on cooldown. Go, my son. Hold down the neutral. Throw electric mouse at them. So there you go. There's the video. We lost. How tragic. So thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. More than happy to answer. Now he's going to look at the other plastic wrapper. If you, thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. More than happy to answer. If you have a question you want answered on the show, kind here, join the Discord, post on Reddit, I guess. Less consistent than the other two. You know, there you go. Start streaming on Twitch Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 p.m. EST to 11 EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and you still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future. And I hope you found the video helpful.